What's going on, 5'9"? We're back here with another episode of the podcast. This is episode 35. We'll be talking about the Super Duper 17, the new amazing, awesome LR, definitely number one. We have some amazing guests joined here today. Starting off, we got Gail. Say hello, man.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
We've got the man, Goresh.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
We got the free-to-play god, Jay Fana.
Yes, I get a freaking name before my actual. Let's go.
I'm on it.
Title.
Finally.
I got a title.
You got a
What's up,
title.
everyone?
I forgot to say the homie for the Goresh. And then we got the global Super Battle Road King, Ningen. What's up, man?
Yo, how's it going, everybody? Very excited to be here this week. Talk about our boy.
Super 17. I'm sure you were super excited about that.
Oh, you know it.
All right, guys. So as always, by the way, make sure to go follow all of our platforms on here on 5'9". We got the YouTube, the Twitch. Make sure to follow the new Reddit, the Discord. Follow us on Twitter, everything. So yeah, let's begin. We got the Super Duper 17. Let's start off actually on the summons. Everybody here, I'm sure, summoned, especially Jay Fana. Let's start off with you, actually, Jay Fana. How did your summons go,
I'm
man?
multiing now. I'm doing the multi now.
You're a multi now. Live multi, here we go.
Yeah, live multi right here. Vegeta. Oh,
Is it going to be an LR?
Give me that.
nah. There's no Vegeta.
Nah.
All right, continue on.
Really quick,
I mean,
know
there
it's a
still
sound.
could be one. There still could be one. You never know.
Well, if
The
you hear me
surprise
scream, I
package.
pulled it. I
go
got
on.
nothing. I got
No.
nothing.
Nice.
Never
All
mind.
We can move on. We can move on. I got nothing.
right, really quick. I did forget to say, I'm the host, Diddy Sauce, here today. I will be the MC for this week. Toonrami could not make it this week for unknown reasons. Unknown reasons. We just don't know.
The reason is because he's a bum. That's the reason.
Yeah, there we go.
He's in the toon zone, as the people would like to call it.
It's like when Garlic Jr. got sucked into the dead zone. That's basically the team zone.
He's just gone.
What somebody make like a meme of like Toon's face slapped onto like Garlic Jr. as he's being sucked into the dead zone or something.
Yes, do it. Get to work. People in the chat.
Get to
tweet
work.
it at 5'9". Do it.
All right, let's go back to the summons. Ningen, let's talk about you. What the Super 17 guy over here? What did you get?
So yeah,
Sorry, someone's
overall, I would say my luck on the banner was pretty decent. Legendary summon banners recently for me have been pretty painful. It took me over 1,000 stones to get one copy of Turles. I think I went just over 1,000 stones without getting a copy of Jiren. So this was the banner where obviously I really wanted things to turn around. And I think it took me 600 stones to get the first copy of him off of a Zeno animation. But I'd pulled, I think, like 5 LRs before that as well, who were all
Nice.
useful dupes for me. So yeah, this was definitely
Yeah, I
a
saw your
nice
summoning video.
turnaround. So yeah, good luck on this one.
Very nice. I did see that you summoned with Blaze, and then afterwards, after the recording, you got them both off screen.
Yeah, that was a typical. That's happened to me so much lately, where I'll record some summons, and then while I'm in the process of like editing the video or something, I'll be like, oh yeah, just one more multi, like while I'm doing this, and then I'll get like a Zeno or whatever. But yeah, we recorded some summons together. We did 500 stones each, and then literally while we were in the process of sending each other the files so that we could make the final video, we both decided to do a random multi while we were chatting, and I got the Zeno and he got the long Kamehameha, and we both got Super 17. So typical that it was the next multi after we'd finished recording, but that's how it goes sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, the
So what
typical
I've
off-camera
noticed,
summons.
what I've noticed is that off-camera luck doesn't apply to screen recording. So if you screen record, you'll still get the off-camera luck, but you'll technically still be recording it. That's how you get around that.
Yeah, I need to remember to actually do that, because the number of times recently I've pulled the unit off camera, like right after I finished recording. I should really know better by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, Goresh, let's hear what you got then.
It started off fairly bad for me. I think I was at like 3,500 stones with one copy.
Oh my.
Yeah, and then it turned around really quick, and then I finished, I think, at like 5,000 ish or so.
So you ran with him at 5,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
You ever wish you ever got the Ella androids luck ever again?
Well, that's
Oh,
never
man.
gonna happen again for anyone.
I was
so.
gonna say every banner going in, it's like,
Yeah.
right, bring me the Goresh Aloha androids luck for this video.
Yeah, that was definitely a special time. I don't know what happened. You were blessed by something.
Something glitched. I don't know.
The numbers are
use
wrong.
summon at the right time.
Yeah.
Gail, how did your summons go?
Being the resident GT fanboy of this 5-9 group, I'd say, you'd think I'd have summoned more than I did, but no, I was already broke from the Goku and Vegeta banner, considering Goku never came home. I did have enough for a 1 multi, so I did it, got nothing, moved on with my life. I mean, it is what it is.
Fair
I
enough.
just couldn't get anything.
Yeah.
I did get enough for another multi, but I decided to put it back into Goku, in which I ended up getting 2 Dokkan Fest, neither of which being Goku. Well, it was Goku, but it was transforming Goku, so swings and roundabouts, I suppose.
Congrats, dude.
Yeah, I know, he's gonna be so good, right? I can finally use his SSR as a rainbow and use it as a stacking unit.
Yeah.
There you go. I can
go.
do something with it now.
Yeah, the new LG GT. You gotta use that.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's probably more useful than the awakened version at this
you're
point.
probably not wrong.
My summons actually went extremely well. I did 3 multis on Super 17. I got Zeno on my 3rd multi. And then I had an extra 50 stones left over, or 60, right? And then I don't have Goku. So I went on the Goku banner, I did a multi, I got nothing. Then I did a single, and I got Boo and Beerus, which Beerus +1 equals a Whis animation guaranteed. So I got a Whis animation off a single, and I got Goku.
Must
This
be
man,
nice.
look at this man over
Yeah.
here.
Hey, it must be nice.
Yeah, it was. I went 1,500 stones on the Goku banner, I didn't get him. And I got him on a single. Same thing with Vegeta, I went like 800, and I didn't get him. I got Zeno animation on a single on his banner.
Wow.
The singles are just treating me well. I don't know. I think I'm done with multis. Screw the coin up there, dude. I'm not. But yeah. All right. So summons went pretty well. A disclaimer to all viewers watching: please don't summon on the banner. Nobody summon on the banner. I think everybody here agrees that nobody should summon.
What do you mean? Do you not want to use the Hellfighter 17 on the banner that's on GT bosses? Clearly. Definitely on GT bosses, right? Right?
And that's why the lead is also androids, right? So you can run them together.
Hooray.
Exactly.
But yeah, the banner, being a legendary summon banner, it is just as bad as I think everyone would have predicted.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this one's also especially bad. There's like no good units
Yeah.
that peek through. Like I think the Jiren banner had like SDR Whis, which was good. But like this one has like no unit that pops out. There's like
Yeah. The biggest problem.
Oceanus, I guess.
The biggest
No, but-
problem with it is that there hasn't been any like banner unit GT banner unit that's really popped off in the last couple of years. Like you mentioned Jiren, right? We had STR Whis in Topo and so on and so forth, which
Yeah.
were really recent released units. But then you look at Super 17, the only GT banner unit that we've gotten but isn't linked to Super 17, so he's not on the banner, I don't think, is physical Nova Shenron. But even then, you can arguably say the tech one is another alternative, so you don't really need the physical one.
Yeah,
Are
the
those
fact,
two on the banner? I feel like those two are on the banner. The physical.
I
Nova
think they are on the banner.
Yeah,
I
the
think they are.
yeah.
the fact
I
that
don't
both
remember it, but
me-
yeah.
both of
Trust
them
me,
are
they're on it.
featured, yeah. Both Novas.
Yeah.
And like the physical one, even though he is on the category, the physical one doesn't even fit on the GT boss's team because he's like a super type support unit. So
Yeah.
He's not even good. For
Yeah, I don't know
it.
why they made that man a super unit. I know because it obviously from what part of the fight
Yeah.
he was in, but like it's still stupid to make him a super ally support.
Dude, the entire banner is GT heroes because they have no GT boss units in the game. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they should have at least EZA'd the 2 Android 17s. Even if they're not on the GT bosses, the Super 17 still leads them. So, I mean...
I mean that would have been a great sub easy. It would have been a bit earlier considering we still have to go through like all the Vegetos and stuff, but it would have been still nice to get them considering, you know, we already have age-old Super 17s easier, so you can just slap them into as part of that sub easier, right? Instead
Yeah.
of Omega Shenron, I suppose. We could have gotten those two instead, which would have been cool.
Yeah. All right, well, those are the summons. Hopefully, again, you guys don't summon. Not a good one. Save your stones. Next up, we're going to talk about rating him. And really quick, let's talk about the poll that we had on the 5-9 Twitter. Make sure you guys go follow the 5-9 Twitter to be included on these polls. we had a vote that says, is LR Tech Super 17 a top 10 LR? Vote and tell us why you think that way. We had a 44.8% on yeah and 55.2% on hell
Wow.
no.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
That's closer
actually
than I
pretty,
expected. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's surprisingly close.
I would have expected way more no's.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with how he's kind of locked onto his own, like, the target Goku and androids, even though he's
Yeah.
GT
Yeah.
bosses lead. I think that's how everybody feels, though. But I mean, with seeing the Yaz, I mean, he's good. He's a good unit. It's just he's definitely locked.
I think it's something that we've seen so commonly in recent units. Like, for example, Videl. Like, yeah, she's a fantastic unit. Probably, I mean, a lot of people would arguably say she's the best TUR, right? But when you see her, where she can be run on, that's also very limited. It's kind of the same situation with Tech Super 17, albeit he's arguably a lot more restricted than she is, right?
Yeah.
But so he's still a great unit on his own team, but do we have some people I don't think are accounting for that. They're just looking at how he is as a unit in the best case scenario, and I think that's why people are saying yeah in terms of that.
Well, the thing with Vidal is she doesn't have to be, like, you don't have to set her up at all. She's so ridiculous that you can literally put her anywhere and she'll be ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Whereas a Super 17, you put him on GT bosses, he's hitting like 2018 attack stats and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's not great.
Yeah, it's a big difference there. That's why, it's definitely a lot more restricted than compared to Videl, of course.
Yeah, Vidal can just really just carry herself, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is for me, like, obviously, I think I retweeted a screenshot of my thing. Like, I voted yes, but, you know, for the memes. As much as I love Super 17, he's definitely not, like, a top 10 LR. I agree with a lot of the criticisms about him, especially when it comes to why they decided to make him the GT bosses leader, and then the way they then made his card so he doesn't really synergize with the GT bosses team. It's definitely a very odd decision, but I mean, like, outside of that, if you just look at him in his best case scenario, like on the Android/Target Goku team, I do think he is very good. I was pretty impressed with obviously only having the one copy, having him on his first turn alongside the Android 13, and he's at around 250k defense, and I think he hit just over a 4 million attack stat, which for a 55% unit, obviously at the time, full level 1 links, I would say is pretty decent. But yeah, the major downside is the fact that you're so limited in where you'd want to use him. It's really the same thing as the AGL Super 17. You're either going to use him on the Android team or potentially on the power absorption team, and then that's pretty much it. And obviously for global not having the same name update, you have to pick between the two that you choose to use as well. So even more limited. Because I think, like, if you ran a 13's team with the Android/Target Goku lead, on JP, you could obviously have a Super 17 and one of the Android 13s on both rotations, and that would be pretty solid. But obviously on global, we can't do that. So I do really like him. Obviously, I was really hyped. I appreciate everybody out there in the community tagging me as soon as his info was revealed. And yeah, I love his animations and everything. But yeah, unfortunately, he's just good. Maybe even really good, but he's not great. He's not as good as he could be, especially in the GT bosses leader like department.
It's crazy how limited the GT boss team on global is, because we're missing 3 units. We're missing the ability to run Super 17, because you have to use the Tech 1 as the leader, so you can't run the AGL 1. We can't use the LR Shadow Dragons because they're obviously not out yet on global, and then we don't have the EZA for Sin Shenron. So we're missing like 3, I would say, core units for the GT bosses team now on global.
Yeah.
So it's
Wow,
like,
yeah, that's... I didn't even think about that.
They chose to release this early on global. What is the point in, like, delaying the release of EZA Sin, not releasing the LR Shadow Dragon? I don't understand the mindset behind that.
Yeah, the Shadow Dragons make such a big difference as well. I feel like the team is so much worse off for them not being available.
I mean, I'm just gonna straight up say I think they're a better leader for the team than Super 17.
Well, the problem I found is when you're building the team on global, for Super Battle Road, it's a slightly different story because we can still run the pretty strong rotation of STR Omega with Oceanus. But when you look at, like, the GT Legendary Goku event, what does a GT bosses team on global look like for that? Because you have your one rotation with Super 17, who is obviously pretty good. But like, who else is really good enough for that sort of difficult level event on the team that we have on global? Because SDR Omega, you can't really use him in those kind of hard events. Physical Omega is outdated, so the
It's
team
not a
is
runnable
just
team.
yeah, it's just
It's
super
not.
lacking for that event completely.
It's definitely just one of those teams where we just gotta wait for more units to come out. They're definitely gonna start focusing a lot more on GT bosses, and I'm sure they're gonna release a lot more powerful units to make this team coherent. Hopefully, like just
it's
go
a hope.
well.
Yeah. But that was the reason why I feel like a lot of people are super unsatisfied with the Super 17 is because people were expecting the GT Bosses team to get the massive boost in part
Yeah.
2 of the celebration
Yeah.
because of the fact that it's so bare bones, right? The category is like 4 characters, right? It's like very
Yeah.
small.
Yeah, even if we got a really good lead, we still needed more units for it, regardless.
Yeah. And then on top of that, the fact that he's not even a 170 leader for the category, it's like, okay, well, we have a 170 leader for like space traveling warriors. Like, come on.
What GT bosses really needs is what's reps of Universe 7, and then arguably, of course, GT Heroes got at the start of the celebration with the 2 banner units that were really good supports. Then obviously the 2 main units being Rainbow Orb Changers, and then of course when we compare it to reps of Universe 7, the amount of support they got during the 6-year anniversary, right? GT bosses basically needs that big celebration where we just get a barrage of like extreme units or whatever it may be, boss units effectively, to support the category, which in part 2 it was kind of, I mean, yes, it was, the hope was there, but it was kind of unlikely we would have gotten like a great support or anything like that. But the main hope was at least you'd get like one solid unit to help out for the time being. Yeah, it's we should have thought otherwise.
Yeah,
I definitely think there should have been another banner unit with Super 17.
Yeah,
it should have
that-
been like an Intopo kind of thing where we got some support. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, that is literally what I was going to say. We saw Jiren release with a side banner unit that was really, really good for that team. And I think they absolutely should have done that for this banner.
Dude, Dr. Mew was such an obvious choice for a banner unit. It's like,
Yeah, or like a combination, Dr. Mew plus Jiro. Why not
Yeah,
just go
yeah.
crazy? Yeah, something
or
unique.
Why not both separate
Yeah.
2 banner units?
Or even, yeah, that would have been great because we don't even have a proper Dr. Jiro unit, so it would have been cool to finally get an SSR/T-War for him. Considering we don't have it under 20.
Dude, they have the damn card art in the game. He's part of Super Battle Road, isn't he?
He's in
Or-
Super
yeah,
17's Dokkan event as well.
Or Dokkan event. Yeah, sorry, I meant
Yeah.
Dokkan event. Yeah, he's in that because obviously people had to run that to awaken the Super 17.
Yeah.
You saw his model, his card art in that event. Just literally just copy paste that as a unit and release it.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I'll say about Super 17 is I'm glad that at least this guy's active skill ultimate attack actually does damage compared to
Yes.
other units. Like, I was surprised when we were watching Truth on the 5-9 stream do the showcase, and he hit a 5 million damage active skill attack. I was like, fair enough. At least it's not like Goku and Vegeta smashing out only like 1 million.
Well, the
Yeah.
reason why it hits so hard is a combination of 2
Yeah.
things. One, his attack stat being an LR is higher. But I think the bigger difference coming out of why he's hitting so much harder than Goku and Vegeta is because of his passive. He's getting 170% start of turn.
Yeah.
And that factors into the damage. And then all on top of that, you're getting the extra attack from that second and third parts of his passive, depending on your rotation. So all that attack that he's getting at the start of turn from his passive is what's contributing to that damage.
Yeah, Goku and Vegeta get theirs on super attack, obviously after you collect the orbs and then hit the super attack, which obviously is not how it works with active skills. Active skills are before you even do a super attack, so that's why there is a solo. But it's still nice, at least, you know, considering how many active skill units we've had, and they've only done like 1-2 million tops probably.
Yeah, I think people don't understand that like 70% of the damage that those Goku and Vegeta units do comes from the on super attack portion of their passive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was actually our next question was going to be what is the future of GT bosses, but I think we just got it there all done did.
Well, the future of GT bosses is we need a lead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said this even before Super 17 release. Like when we saw his details, my next thought was instantly like, okay, we need an actual lead for the team now. Like he's a leader, but he's not really a leader for the team.
Yeah, because we see summonable LRs all the time have that slightly lower leader skill and then give like 4 key instead of 3, and that kind of feels like what he is. So it feels like they're
Yeah.
holding back the 170 lead to be like a Dokkan Fest unit or something.
Well, it's not even the fact that he's not a 170 leader. It's that he's a main rotation unit that doesn't work with the rest of the team.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who is his best link partner on GT bosses? Like,
I don't know.
like I think
It
the
would've
closest
been-
is
it
like
would-
Rildo, and they don't even
Yeah.
share that many links. So it's
I think it's 4 links. Yeah, Rildo.
Yeah.
I mean, Rildo is putting out like sub 2 million attack stats for me on that team, which is pretty terrible.
Yeah, and it doesn't really have a partner there. I mean, you could definitely
So-
use the 17s, and the Androids lead.
yeah, that's the thing. I think like it's not ideal because obviously people want to run a full GT bosses team, but I mean you don't obviously have to. So the best way to really do it is you're essentially running a GT bosses team, but using that sub part of his leader skill. You just bring Android 13 to be his link partner. But obviously, if they don't do anything to fix that scenario, that's not the kind of thing you can run. Like when we eventually get a GT Bosses Super Battle Road stage, or if they add a GT Bosses mission to the Legendary Goku event, like you can run that team using his leader skill, but it's not technically a full GT Bosses team. So I think that's the thing that stands out as the weirdest thing for me. If they were going to release him as the leader for that team, they really should have brought out a unit that is designed to go alongside him on the rotation, because he's very much lacking that at the moment.
I think for me, looking at this whole celebration, I honestly would have preferred at this point, like knowing what they were gonna do now, if they would have just made this entire celebration part 1 and 2 100% focused on solely GT heroes.
Yeah.
Because what is the actual point in releasing this category for GT bosses right now? Like the team is not usable, like not even in the slightest. And if you take a look at the GT heroes category, we got Goku and Vegeta GT. The new Dokkan Fest units. We got both those banner units, which are like the best banner units in the game, bar none. Like they're ridiculous. Then we got the easy A's for both Super Saiyan 4s. It's like the entire GT Heroes team was literally created from this celebration. And then for GT bosses, they gave us, a 4-year-old, not even like 5-year-old Dokkan Awakening for a unit. And then a unit for the leader of the team that doesn't even work on the team. Like I would have just preferred if they gave us like an LR of I don't know, like
Maju.
Super Saiyan, yeah, like anything GT hero related. Like, okay, sure,
Yeah.
Maju, that was like some like mega unit for GT heroes or something, and then just completely make this category 100% focused around that category, which is pretty much what they've done up until this point anyway. So I don't know what the point of is in mixing in like a little bit of GT bosses where it doesn't really make a difference for the team. Because
Yeah.
let's be honest, he's an androids unit,
Yeah.
not a GT boss unit.
I think at least preparing it, like, obviously with the Rildo, that I think that was fine. But I think it also led to people getting gassed up, I'd say. It's the best way to put it, for a potential GT Bosses Part 2. I think that's what it was. Instead of they just said, okay, we are releasing this category as a bit of a teaser, kind of. And then just left it at that. And then maybe in the next celebration or something, instead of, obviously we'll come on to it in just a second, but instead of Garlic Jr., maybe the next celebration, which would have had the TU War, that could have been the first GT Bosses lead, which could have been obviously probably a lot better than what we got with Super 17, maybe, as a GT Bosses lead or a first GT Bosses lead. And then, of course, if they wanted to do Omega Shenron and Gogeta Dual Dokkan Fest with GT Heroes, GT Bosses again down the line, that's something. But yeah, I think
How
that's
long
what
is
should
that
have been
going to
done,
take,
probably.
though? How long do you think the next GT Bosses unit is going to be released on the game?
It's probably going to be a big celebration because we've seen GT doesn't necessarily get huge celebrations. They sometimes do get like in between celebrations, full power Super Saiyan for Goku, SOJ for Gogeta and stuff like that. But if you look at it for the most part, they've had only the big celebrations to their names. So I guess worldwide celebration or anniversary pretty much is our next best options.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably see something like a month and a half, 2 months, but that's, again, just going on to worldwide celebration. Or just, I think that's right around near like the mid or end of 6-year on global. So probably around, I would just say worldwide celebration, we'll probably see more. Or we can just get another Dokkan Fest on JP, like a singular Dokkan Fest for GT. Maybe Baby, that'd be awesome.
A
Yeah, what if the-
transforming baby would be lovely.
What if the next Dokkan Fest on JP is literally just a better GT bosses lead than what we just got? And it's
It'd be so funny.
Big F.
3 key 170.
4 key 170 across the board, like
4
a
key
Dokkan
one-
Fest baby. He's like a support big bad boss unit. Like just obviously the optimal lead for the team. Just destroy global.
More global shaft. So many people would be complaining. That'd be great. All right. Well, let's move on to the next topic here. We got the Dokkan Now number 5 that just happened. Man, dude, I'll say when I was watching this, I got so mad because it's like they had a whole Dokkan Now, but they posted everything that was basically in the Dokkan Now prior to the Dokkan Now, rendering it basically useless. The only thing that we got out of it was that the person's leaving and we're getting Kodo as a new person.
But do we want to talk about which one, the JP side or the global side? Because I understand why I'm more okay with the JP side dropping it early, because in my opinion, I think they don't really care about the people who actually watch or look at the JP side from the global side.
Yeah.
But I do agree there is a bit of a mess or mishap between the global social media team for sure, because to me, them dropping it just as the Dokkan Now went live is kind of idiotic to me, because it's just like you could have waited 15 minutes and then put it out there, right?
Yeah.
That's the length of the Dokkan Now. Because I understand why their perspective when it comes to, okay, we'll release it on the JP side because, yeah, only like 10-15% of our player base actually cares about looking at the JP side, so whatever, doesn't really matter. But the global side, dropping it just as the Dokkan Now renders it useless, like you said. Another problem that I have with the Dokkan Now is their way of showing it is really problematic, because they don't drop a link beforehand. They don't premiere it like how Legends does their videos and stuff and reveals and stuff. So that also hurts them, in my opinion. It's just the way of them doing these Dokkan Nows is just odd in general.
Yeah. Plus, because it's not I mean, I know that's a lot harder to do and harder to organize or whatever, but because it's not a stream and it just gets uploaded as a video, like we see it all the time, because we often do for any of these kind of events, we'll obviously do like a watch along thing on Twitch or something, but you just get people skip ahead in the video and then spoil it in the chat anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's kind of why the premieres are better, in my opinion, like how Legends does it, like I said, right? I think that's the best way of doing it. I just don't understand why they do it for one game and they can't do it for the other, even though it's uploaded on the same channel.
But yeah, I think the thing is, we can say, like, because we talked about it when we did that brief video about it, and the JP side, in terms of their social media, like you said, they probably take into account that not that many people follow both, but some people do. So I think it wouldn't have been too much to ask that they just schedule that tweet to be a little bit later. Like you said, same with the global one. Maybe just put those tweets out like 15 minutes after the Dokkan Now, because the global side, as you said, like they dropped the details for 17 exactly at, I don't know what time it was for everyone else out there, but it was 3 o'clock in the morning for me for the Dokkan Now. So they dropped the details for Super 17 at 3 o'clock, which is when the Dokkan Now started. So if you're somebody like me, that you had the video up on YouTube and you also had Twitter open, I'd already read everything that he did before they even got to the part of the video where they told you that he was coming out. So it seems like a really weird way of doing things. Like the Dokkan Now should be this big hype thing that we all get excited to watch and see what is going to be revealed. And if they're then just going to tweet it like at the exact same time the video goes up, like Diddy was saying, the only real new news we got, because the beginning they just covered the upcoming free-to-play Easy A stuff, was the thing about Koto taking over as the new producer, and basically everything else we just already knew. So it's a bit disappointing that they chose to do it that way.
My first thing I'll say is, if you guys have any criticism for the Dokkan Now, there's a survey, so go fill that out. In game, I think it's in the news. You just click the link and it'll take you there and just fill it out. Me personally, I think I actually do have a problem with them posting on the JP Twitter before the Dokkan Now comes out, because to me it just feels like JP doesn't need a Dokkan Now. They just show the unit and that's it. And to me, I don't care about anything else in the Dokkan Now besides that. So for me, it's like the most important thing about the Dokkan Now entirely for me is the announcement that there even is going to be a Dokkan Now, because that tells us that something's coming.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't care about the Dokkan Now. Like, as long as they just post the unit on Twitter, I don't need a Dokkan Now to come out. I just want to see the unit. I don't care about anything else. So I don't understand the point of what Dokkan Now is trying to do. Like, why does Global even need a Dokkan Now while JP doesn't have one?
Yeah, it's something that could be interesting to hype up a big reveal, but then if they're just gonna essentially spoil it themselves. It seems kind of pointless. And hasn't this has happened multiple times, hasn't it? Because they've either had a data download before the Dokkan Now, and then I think the funniest one that I remember was when the Heroes stuff was announced at the end of last year, and we still didn't know just yet whether it was going to be on global at the same time. And then a Dokkan Now was announced, so obviously a lot of us speculated and got our hopes up that it was to announce that Heroes would be on both versions. And then a bunch of people who'd uploaded the Super Attack animations from the JP Twitter got content claimed by the Dokkan Now, basically exposing that that's what was going to be in it. So it seems like every time they've done one of these, almost every time at least, there's been some sort of weird way where they've accidentally spoiled it themselves before we even got to watch it. So
yeah, again, I don't understand the point of actually having a Dokkan Now ever at all. There's 0 point when they can just post it on Twitter. Again, JP doesn't have Dokkan Now or anything similar to that. They just post their stuff on Twitter. It's easier. It's more direct. You get to see everything right away. You have to wait for a video to come out. You have to do any of the stuff. The only value I see in Dokkan Now is the actual announcement that there's going to be one, so that we know something's coming up. Right? That's the only thing.
yeah.
You know what's interesting? Like the you know, in the 6-year anniversary, how they had like that special pre-live stream. That was more hype than the actual live stream, like Dokkan Now stuff. Because you know when Blue Evolution Goku and UI Goku, the art, they just revealed the art. That was so hype. And then like Dokkan Now was just like, oh yeah, we already know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I as Ningen said, the point of the Dokkan Now, for how I see it, is it's something that's hype, that we should be hype while watching it and not be disappointed because we already know what's in there. So like I know I was just really upset about it. I was like, what's the point of having the Dokkan Now if they're just gonna post a thing like 15 minutes prior or like 10 minutes prior? And then it's like, that's really all that was in there Dokkan wise, other than like the producer leaving and having a new one.
Did they not think that would have been like a contradictory thing to do, to post it literally like earlier than the Dokkan? Were they not like thinking about it? I don't understand how that's even possible to think of.
Yeah,
I just think they plainly thought, you know, we don't care about the global side looking at this. We're just gonna drop it for the JP players, pretty much. I think that's.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. It was the global Twitter
Oh,
posting.
the global
info at the
Twitter.
same
Yeah,
time.
that I don't know. I think that was more so. Again, this is me playing as a bit of a devil's advocate. I think it was stupid of them to drop it at the same time. But my only assumption is that not everybody's gonna go watch the Dokkan. I mean, they don't even drop the link. They didn't even drop the link at the right time, that's another issue of them posting stuff.
But it's,
super late in certain situations. I'm fine with certain things like the events being announced like half a day later or something. I feel like a lot of gachas announce their events like half a day later after it's actually live in the game. But stuff like the Goku and Vegeta information being dropped 2 days after their release or 1 day after their release, and obviously them saying, oh, the Dokkan Now is live half an hour later, that's stupid to me. But my only assumption is of them dropping it at the same time is purely because they might have been like, oh, this is for the people who might not go and watch the Dokkan Now, and then the people who want to go watch the Dokkan Now are watching it anyways and reacting to it, or watching it or reacting to it there, pretty much.
If I wasn't a content creator, and if I saw them post the Super 17 info at the same time as the Dokkan Now, I would have. There was no way I would go watch a Dokkan Now if they just posted that. Like I would just look at the info on Twitter, and that's it.
Yeah, because it's
I
like it completely invalid. I can see kind of where you're coming from, but it like completely invalidates the point of even having a Dokkan Now. Then if you're gonna tweet it out at the same time because some people might not watch it, just don't even have it. Like the idea should be you want people to watch the Dokkan Now, and then if you didn't watch it, then they tweet out the info like an hour or two later. So if you didn't bother watching it, you're behind on the news. Like they should want people to watch it if they're going to make them in the first place. So
I 100% agree with that point. There's no two ways about it.
The last thing I'll say about this topic is this is not like a one-off thing, because we've seen the same thing happen every single time. Like go think back to the Saiyan Day Dokkan Now with Broly, right? Global announced the Dokkan Now, and they show the Dokkan Now, and then JP just got a tweet. Like I'd rather just get the tweet. It's just easier. Like I don't need a whole Dokkan Now to show me a character and waste my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if it is something filling, I mean, of course, for us, even I agree with that notion. Like, if it's just the unit that's being revealed, then just give me the unit. But if there's something of value in it, like, for example, if they had actually shown off, like, the actual, like, upcoming update, like the same name update, coins and everything, and they had actually explained it in the Dokkan now as well, I think that would have been a fair value. Okay, you're explaining
Yeah,
the update
I mean,
as
we
well
all
as
thought that was going to be coming too, right?
yeah, that's what even I
the
thought. I didn't think there was going to be anything exceptional. I thought they would have just said, this is the
Yeah.
update coming up, this is new unit, there you go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we didn't even get that, which was, in my opinion, also stupid. But, you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I was surprised they showed like the free to play EZA stuff at the beginning because that's stuff that's been in the
Yeah.
news in the game for weeks. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Exciting
Yeah, it
news.
just felt like they were stalling just so they can only do that Dokkan now, just to say that the Kodo is taking over it. That's what it just
Dude,
felt like.
just tweet it out. Who cares?
Yeah, like at that point, just tweet it out. It's not worth it. If
I
they
feel like
already
that-
tweeted out
I
Super
feel like you
17,
might be
everything was
right.
already out.
yeah, it was more of a like on video, like here's an introduction to the new producer rather than just doing it in a tweet. But
Yeah.
that seems like the only thing that they really even made it for. So, very strange.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on from the Dokkan now. Let's go over to the explosive chain battle versus Baby. I know everybody's super excited about chain battle, everybody's favorite game mode. How is everyone doing on chain battle, guys? Let's start off with Gale. We'll go down the list.
Yeah, I think I got like 110 as my last high score, which I'm more than happy with. I'm always that person who'll just get the 100 million, get the missions done. I'm happy there. I'm not interested in like top 1%, 2%. Like, as long as I get that, I'm fine with it. I do believe this, however, this is probably one of the better chain battles we've gotten in the last couple of, I'd say the last year pretty much at this point. I think since the first chain battle we got,
Last year.
it's probably the best one we had. It's I'd argue it was probably the easiest one to build around and work with because the units are very accessible in my opinion, at least on the extreme side. It's all a bunch of just Vegetas and Friezas, which a lot of people have already. The super side is also pretty easy because it's a bunch of Trunkses, which people should have obviously as well. Or you can use a bunch of Gokus as well, which also works. So not really that difficult. I do agree, however, the main attacker can be a bit iffy if you don't have Goku, Trunks, and Pan. But apart from that, super easy in my opinion.
Yeah, I do like this one. Garash, how do you feel?
I think right now I have. Last time I checked, I had the highest score that I could see on the leaderboard.
Yeah,
I have
yours is the
152 million on
highest I've seen.
global. Yeah,
How much?
152 on global.
152.
Yeah,
I see
so-
people with like 119 and they're top 1% on global. I'm
Yeah.
129 million on JP and I'm top 2%.
Yeah, JP for some reason has higher score. I think it's because they have more categories like Turtle School and whatever. I think that's why.
Um,
Oh, do they?
Yeah. But yeah, there's definitely. I've seen people with 170 on JP. So there's.
Yeah.
my score might be higher.
170.
Yeah,
What's
this
the
is-
highest score ever?
I think this is the
That-
highest
that's
scoring
it.
one, yeah.
This
That's
is
it?
easily the highest scoring one. That's why it's the best one because it's so much
Yeah.
easier for most
Yeah.
people to get over that 100 million to get the missions
Yeah.
done.
Yep.
yes.
But yeah, for me personally, this one is fine. Usually, what I find myself doing is the first 2 days or so I'll finish, and then the next 5 days is just me just doing throwaway runs just for the extra
Yep.
emblems.
Mhm.
So just because of that, I feel like what they could do is they could just shorten the overall length of chain battle and just end up giving more emblems for doing stuff. Like increase the amount of emblems you get from everything by like a proportion to how much shorter you're making the overall event, and it just make it a lot less monotonous. I feel like if you're making the whole thing shorter, make people
Yeah.
complain about it less probably. But yeah, this one's not bad at all. I think you know the best support lineup for the super class is definitely the GT Trunkses.
Yep.
You want to pick them. I think Pans work pretty well, and the GT Trio is a good one also. And then the best extreme lineup, the one that I used, was just a bunch of like Vegetas, Slugs, and Babies, and then I used LR Baby as my connector, and that's it.
you use Baby as your connector?
Yeah, LR Baby. You want to use
Really?
the unit with the most stats as your connector.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes
Gotcha.
sense. I've been using the AGL grade up Vegeta.
yeah,
Yeah,
same.
that's what even I've
he's
been using.
he's a good one too. I think he's the second best one
Gotcha.
because he's in two of the categories. He's in Giant
Yeah.
category and then Dragon Ball Seekers.
I'll try
Yeah.
Baby on my next one.
I will say, like what you said about the fact that they could reduce it. I don't know why they don't just make it like a weekend thing, like how World Tournament is. It would fit really well, a 3-day event or 3 to 4 day event. It's only
Yeah.
2 days less, pretty much. You just
would
need
have
to cut down
have to-
the. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say they'd have to change the overall timing too if they did that. Like
Yeah.
make the refresh timer like an hour instead of 3 hours.
Yeah.
Give more
Yeah.
emblems and stuff like that.
I agree. Or or I think they could just adjust it to being like, instead of doing the chain battle 30 times, make it like 25 times or 20 times, something like that. Obviously, distribute those rewards to the other
Yep.
missions as well, and then reduce obviously the 1 billion score to like maybe 750 million or something like that. I don't know, but I think that would be the best way to go about it if you want to shorten it, is just make it a weekend event, kind of like World Tournament anyways.
Yeah, condense it, get more rewards. Definitely a good idea there. Mr. J Fana.
Why you laugh like that?
with your free to play, are you attempting it? Are you attempting it?
Yeah, I attempted the first 2 days. Like, I just go ham on the first 2 days and then give up afterwards. That I can't get
What's your
100
highest
million.
score?
I got 95, and then I got to the 1 billion points, so I could get the free sticker, and then I dipped.
I mean,
You got the
that's
95 free to
solid.
play.
Yeah, I was trying to get. I felt like I could get 100 million, and then I was like, I can't be bothered.
Too much RNG. Too much RNG.
Screw
Yeah,
that.
I did not expect the 95 mil for free to play. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Ninja.
top 20%, so not that good, but take it, I guess.
Yeah.
Ningen, how did you do?
So my current high score is 124 million. And I am still in the top 1% with that. So I'm kind of hoping that that's just going to be good enough to finish in the top 1%, because like Goresh said, when it first comes out, as much as I don't like the mode, like when it first comes out on day 1 and day 2, especially once you start to see what some of the consistent high score team builds look like, I will give it a go to try and get the best score possible. Maybe use a couple of stones to do some refreshes if I find a good setup of teams. But then once it gets to like day 3 or 4, especially if I'm already in the top 1%, I just kind of give up and just do the throwaway runs just to complete the daily missions. So that's one of the things I always joke about with some of the people that I'm in like group chats with and stuff. It's like, because you know, you get your when you see that your friends have used your supports and sent you the likes and everything, you can actually see what score they got. And so it's like, yeah, if you see me using your units and I'm getting like 40 million, it's because I literally put the phone down and didn't even pick like the 3 units that come up mid-battle or anything, because I'm just trying to get my play it 3 times a day mission done. But yeah, it's still very inconsistent for me. I've tried runs where I thought with the numbers all added up that the team I was using was better than my previous high score, and then still gotten like under 100 million. So for now, I'm just happy to be in the top 1%, and hopefully it can be enough to keep me there.
Yeah, I think a good quality of life change they can make is literally just let us use a charge of the energy to just get the emblems and reset, like use up energy quicker, basically is what I'm trying to say, without actually having to go through the event and just not doing anything, right?
Yeah, that's the most annoying thing, because even if it's your first attempt, maybe even your second, like if you find a really good setup that you want to use again, because maybe it just gave you some bad units to pick the 3 from in the actual mid-fight section, it means you then have to like quickly play through the other 3 or 4 runs that you have to do in order to empty out your bar, so that you then have the option to refresh it, which is really annoying. Even if it's, because I mean it's going to cost you a stone regardless, that should definitely be an option that is available just straight away, because I would be more than happy to just try with my best setup a couple of times rather than have to then run through those essentially dead runs just so I can then refresh.
Yeah, I think everybody's in agreement where chain battles not the most fun event. I think it always comes down to what's better, chain battle or world tournament. Yeah, I think we already talked about that last week. So we'll move on.
We always talk about it. When do we don't?
I know. I was gonna say I didn't bite because we talk about it so much. But yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one. The V-Jump leaks. Garlic Jr. I bet a lot of you guys are excited. Goresh, are you excited for this one?
Yeah, the one thing I do want to clarify though, because I've seen so many people just falsely claiming this is a Dokkan Fest exclusive. It does not say that anywhere on the scan, anywhere. And I actually went through like like 12 to 15 past issues of V-Jump where they've announced Dokkan Fest exclusives, and every single one specifies that they're Dokkan Fest exclusive.
So we're expecting a double ray banner here, probably.
The fact that they don't specify in this one is very suspicious to me because they've never done that. Even Android 21 was specified as to be featured on a Dokkan Fest banner.
Hey, man, Garlic Jr. deserves that credit, bro. He's
And
So
he's the
wait, this is not the movie one either, right?
no,
No.
this is from the Makio Star Saga.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
the
right.
interlude.
This is really just a wonky, just weird announcement where it's not the movie
Yeah.
boss as Garlic Jr. and it's not confirmed at Dokkan Fest. Where yeah, that's really weird. That is
We
very odd.
also know he's going to be we also know there's going to be a story event for Garlic Jr. Coming as well, which could mean that he Dokkan Awakens through the story event medals, which obviously again would mean that he's not Dokkan Fest exclusive. So
Yeah. I'm thinking double ray banner here, which in this like this time slot of Dokkan, do they usually do a double ray banner at this time?
I am thinking double rate banner as well.
I think this could be a bluff. I think we could see a Dokkan Fest, but he's not. He's just the banner unit potentially. I think we could see Kid Gohan. We haven't had a Kid Gohan Dokkan Fest ever, and we could get a Kid Gohan from the Makio Star Saga.
Yeah, or we could
It's
just get something
possible.
completely different. Like
It's
I don't know.
something unique, something refreshing. We haven't
Dokkan
seen
Fest
from Gohan.
Ginyu with Garlic Jr. on the banner.
It makes perfect sense.
Yep.
It makes. I mean, hey, if they're going to release this 17 as the GT Bosses League, then why not?
They could pull something crazy too. Like, what if you just got like a Dokkan Fest standalone Goji to Blue, and then it was Garlic Jr. on the banner?
Garlic Jr. is just on the banner random.
The two
funniest
godliest
thing.
beings of the Dragon Ball universe. That's the
Two
one thing.
indestructible, immortal characters together.
That's the one thing I did tweet about this. I'll mention it again now. I'm specifically calling out every single person out there who has plagued every single tweet or video or reveal or speculation about we want Garlic Jr. Well, he's coming now, so you better summon for him. If I don't see him hitting top grossing or at least number 2 because of the stupid horse game, then you will all have been exposed as the fakers that you are.
Hey, calm
Yeah.
yourself.
I
It's not
think
a stupid
people also
horse
say
game.
the same thing about Kid Buu, so we also got to see for Kid Buu as well. But
Yeah.
One interesting thing I will point out too is the fact that they have not released a single transforming unit this entire year on JP. We haven't gotten a transforming unit since Janemba, I think.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Oh,
And this
that's
Garlic Jr. is not like people. I've been seeing them say, "Oh, he's transforming," but he's actually not transforming. His SSR version is just like the small non-Super Garlic Jr. And then once you Dokkan Awaken him, then he becomes the Super Garlic Jr., the buff version.
Yeah.
So he doesn't transform in battle. He has 2 different forms. So you can actually run both together, which is why I feel like a double rate banner might be more in line with that. But I don't know.
Because yeah, they did the same thing with Broly as well, didn't they? Because his we were potentially expecting a transforming to legendary Super Saiyan Broly, but they just made
Yeah.
it so the SSR was the Super Saiyan form, and then the TUR was the legendary Super Saiyan form. But yeah, I hadn't actually realized that they haven't
Yeah,
done
I
a
hadn't
proper
either. That's
transformation unit.
that's
yeah.
kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, I think it's them just taking advantage of the same name update and just being like, yeah, we're not going to do transforming units for a bit now. Let's relax.
Well, yeah, they kind of spammed transforming units for a long time, so they're just
Yeah.
kind of taking a break probably right now from doing
Yeah.
that.
Because I mean,
Which
they
honestly,
did,
it's feeling refreshing. I'm not gonna lie with that.
Yeah.
Of the
'cause-
constant transforming unit.
Yeah, they kind of, it feels like they definitely, that was a new avenue that they gave themselves so that they could have these units that get around the same name update by starting, sorry, not update, but the way it was previously. They get around it by starting off as a different name and then transforming up to the form that you actually sort of want to see them as. And now they don't have to do that anymore. So,
Or they could just do a gold, like a physical Frieza, just do that again.
I also feel this gives them some time to actually make the units, because when you're doing transforming units, you have to do multiple versions of it, especially if it has 2 or 3 transformations, right? So it reduces the time of development, I suppose, as well, which is beneficial to them because they can work on other future stuff as well ahead of time. And I assume also, assume this is me, reaching a bit, I suppose, but it could be the reason why, is because they're working on whatever this big version Z is going to be. They're probably like, let's waste less time with development and, do these non-transforming units and just push them out, kind of, I think, is potentially a reason. But again,
Yeah.
it's a bit of a reach, but who knows? That could be the reason.
The one thing I will say about version Z is we actually know nothing about version Z.
Yeah.
So
It's exactly the reason why I said it's a very big reach, because we don't know
Well,
if
I
it's
just-
actually a big thing or not.
yeah, I just wanna temper people's expectations, right?
Yeah.
This could be like the greatest update ever in Dokkan history, very easily, right? We don't know. But
Like,
it also, could,
arguably
be,
gacha
it also
history.
could suck ass, right? It could,
It could just be
So-
we're updating the friend
It's
system.
hype
There you
and
go. That's
scary at the
it.
same time.
I would
Hey,
but the reason why I bring that up is I don't want people to become like super hyped for this all of a sudden for it to just suck, right? So
Yeah.
I would assume it's going to suck until we see otherwise.
but I was gonna say, let's be honest, Gail. Even if the update was just that they're updating the
Yeah,
friend
true.
system, that'd be a pretty damn good update.
Yeah, you're not wrong
Yeah.
on that.
I don't want to sound like a negative person about this, but I just think it's better to expect less, right?
Yes.
Than go in
Yeah.
thinking, oh my god, this is gonna definitely be the best update ever, and then be
100%.
disappointed about it after the fact.
I mean, global players already do that, so.
It's true, they do.
We just gotta tell the JP side. All right, let's also talk about on the V Jump. We did have the announcement of new Super Battle Road stages. It's not extreme, right? It's just normal
No.
Super Battle Roads.
It's new
Yes.
categories, yeah.
New
Yeah.
categories.
All right. And so with that, we also got a new LR, Trunks and Bulma, and I think I remember, Gresh, I think on your video you said this is just a Trunks card, it says, or does it
Yeah,
say
I
Trunks and Bulma?
actually, I'm wondering if that's an error because clearly Bulma's in the card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The name it says on the VJump scan is literally just Trunks Teen. So I don't know. That's the name it says in VJump. That's the name we're gonna go with right now. That's just Trunks Teen. But Bulma's clearly in the card art, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a mistake or they just have her in the card, but he's not actually in the card. Like how what is like the TUR of LR Kid Goku and Arale have the Krillin. He's not actually in the name. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah. V Jump being very sus with the Garlic Jr. and the Trunks and Bulma.
Yeah, this is a weird issue, definitely.
All right, but what do you guys think the Super Battle Road stage is going to be? Jay Fana, what do you think?
The ones we don't have.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
I don't
10 out
know,
of
like
10.
Terrifying Conquerors. That's an easy one. Easy dub.
That's the STR cooler, right?
Yeah.
A free to play one that'd be great. Bardock Squad. They did one for Ginyu, so time for Bardock's time.
I thought you were just saying straight up free to play. Like it just says free to play category. It's just
no,
free to play. Perfect for you.
I mean, artificial life forms, Dragon Ball Saga, siblings, bonds, like all these worthy rivals.
Yeah, because
I
they,
hope so.
Kamehameha.
they sort of go in order of when
We
they
don't have
were released,
Kamehameha.
don't they? So there's a whole
We don't have
Yeah.
Kamehameha.
What?
I feel like this set is going to be like really good though.
You know,
Yeah.
I genuinely think we'll get the best category SBR stage of all time, GT bosses.
Oh yeah,
You'd
we
say
really
that.
got lead for that team right now.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't have him, tough luck.
Yeah, you just can't do the event.
I mean, to be fair, the team would be able to beat a Super Battle Road event, but it wouldn't be the best.
It would probably
Best
struggle
time.
with one.
Good talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with the no items on that one.
You literally have to
Yeah.
pull Super 17 to even attempt it.
Yeah, on global. Well, I suppose they are only coming to JP, aren't they? So you would have the Shadow Dragons LR, unless
Oh,
you,
yeah, they're
unless you
very
didn't
easy,
pick them
yeah.
up and you've already spent all your points, and then you
Tough
definitely
luck.
can't do it. But it'd be interesting to see if we get like a joined forces one, because that's one of the older categories that's been around for a while and doesn't have a stage yet.
Yeah,
And
I
obviously
think
that is an interesting category.
I think we're due for a actual like mega leader for that team, like a Bojack style supporting orb changing lead for that team. That team would become ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of units on that team that if they had the true leader for that team would be scary. Very, very scary. I love Blue Boys, but I don't know if they're the right leader for that team.
They're not.
Yeah.
Because so a lot of the units on there, because so many units get thrown onto that category, there's a very weird amount of synergy between some units do synergize well with other units on the category, and then obviously a whole bunch of them just don't at all. So having a proper leader like Gresh was saying, giving them that sort of Bojack Cooler blueprint where you could leave them untransformed and then they're just a really good support unit. That would make that team really, really good by sort of shoring up the gaps in links between some of those units by just giving them a bunch of key and attack and defense in support. So
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, the fusing Super Saiyan 4 Goku Vegeta for worldwide download.
ooh.
You think that's gonna be joint forces?
It might be.
That's true. Could be. Saiyan Roar. I'm trying to think of links right now for that.
Wait,
The
are
links
we
would definitely
assuming? Wait, are we assuming wait, Super Saiyan 4 you said, right? Not base form Goku and Vegeta. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
fusing Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah, Saiyan Roar is possible. GT,
Saiyan Roar
of course.
GT.
Yeah.
Shocking speed, like
Shocking
prepare for
speed.
battle.
Yeah, if they can get them like shocking speed, prepare for battle, all those links, that'd be nice. They give us a nice orb changing, and then they give
Imagine if they keep up the meme with the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, so they have Saiyan Raw, but then when they fuse into Gogeta, they lose Saiyan
my
Raw to
God.
get fused fire.
Yikes.
I mean, you know that they would do that, right?
They'll
would,
definitely
yeah.
do that.
And what would suck is if their transformation like mechanic, it would be so tough to get.
Oh.
And then Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta actually has Saiyan Roar, but you'll never see it because they just won't be able to transform.
To be fair, if they do a Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, with how quickly they fused, what if they are just a turn 1 fusion?
I think, in a way, I guess it kind of makes sense because they don't have. I mean, they can pull stuff from Heroes and all the games and stuff, but they don't do a huge amount of like fighting together before
Yeah.
fusing. So
I
A
mean,
turn
Vegeta,
one fusion that defuses after 2 supers.
All right, are we ready to go to the next one here?
Yeah.
I think we got everything there. All right, the big maintenance incoming, guys. You got the coin update and the same name update. Very exciting. Global players, how are you feeling?
I mean, yeah, this is it's going to be pretty exciting. It's the biggest thing to take away from this. Obviously, they're assuming this is it's the same name update and the coin exchange thing. It's like the two big main things, isn't it? So, the huge thing about this is the fact that we're getting this before the 6-year anniversary, because that is when a large majority of the people have been saving for a long time. These are the banners that people are going to go nuts on. And obviously, just like any big celebration, whilst the banners have some super awesome units, obviously the new units, the couple of previous Dokkan Fest LRs, there's a bunch of older Dokkan Fest units that if you've been playing for a decent amount of time, you probably don't need any copies of. And so if these are the banners that you're going to go absolutely crazy and be spending all these stones that you've been saving for so long, you're probably going to pull a bunch of these units that you can't use. And so having the coin update in time for this is going to be a massive win for global players, because then you can trade those all in for the red coins. And then once you're done with your summoning, depending on how well you did, you're going to be able to then have a bunch of extra coins that you can use to buy copies of like the STR Goku and Vegeta, physical Bootanks, like all those really, really good red coin units. Because it's already a great time to pick them up because it's the first time for them returning on Global. But now with this update, you're going to be getting a ton of extra red coins from doing your summons as well. So it's a pretty good time for it to come to Global.
Yeah,
I also think the
tickets too. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
dude, this anniversary, because the same name update in particular, I think, is going to be really, really big and important for the anniversary for Global, because think about how many players are either new or coming back from a long break for the anniversary.
Yeah.
And the fact that they can now use like the same name characters on their team, it's going to make it so much easier for them to actually build teams. Like if you have multiple Vegito Blues on your account and you're a newer player, because if we're being realistic, if you're a newer player, you're summoning on or you should be summoning on banners that are high value, and most of those banners have a lot of good units, but a lot of those units have the same name. Like how many Vegetos do you have? How many Vegito Blues, Gogetas, all these units have the same name, and you can't obviously use them all on the same team, but now you can all of a sudden. So it's going to make it easier for those newer players to build teams. So I just think overall it's going to increase the quality of the game for a lot of people who are newer to the game. And the only other thing I'll mention too is that we do know that Goten and Trunks are coming out before the anniversary as well, but just skip that.
but people are gonna summon on, especially if they replace Angel Golden Frieza with SSG for Gogeta.
Oh no! This is what I think they're gonna do. Ready? I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna replace Frieza with Bojack, and then they'll on Vigel's banner they'll put Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on it to drain people's stones before the worldwide celebration.
That's actually a good shout.
Yeah. That's definitely what they're gonna do on Global.
That's a very good shout.
Also a good bait too. I mean, it's not like it's a bad bait. It's a pretty good bait.
Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Videl on the same banner.
Yeah, that's I wouldn't even say that's bait. That's just really good to go for.
But yeah, I think go if they because I agree that is definitely a huge possibility. But I have seen, like Gail said, a couple of people mention like them switching out Frieza for Gogeta on the Trunks banner, and I think that would definitely encourage some people who maybe wouldn't have summoned otherwise to summon. But that's the big thing that always seems to happen now with Global, the odd replacing a unit with one that you would never have expected. Because what was it? Was it Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's actual banner? We never expected them to replace the unit with Tech Gohan, but they did. And so then, right before the anniversary, that would be huge bait. And again, now it's technically right before the coin update as well, so it's even more dangerous to summon on that banner.
Actually,
I think Bojack is a good replacement too. That would entice people to summon. Bojack is crazy.
One thing I just realized is that this banner could very possibly have the same. This and Videl's banner could very possibly have the same thing that Beerus and Kefla had last year, where it's discounted and it's guaranteed featured at the end.
Yes.
It's very likely that they could do the same thing to bait people in.
Yeah, it's very hard to skip.
At that point, that's just not even bait. That's just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess, you know what? Yeah, technically it's just bait because then, I mean, less stones for anniversary, but it is worth it, though. That would
it's definitely worth it. Like, it's not even a question, but it's just like that. It's clear bait. It's clear bait, and we take it. We're just getting taken in.
We take that bait. But yeah, the other big thing as well, the same name update, was it on JP? Did it come out, was it after the anniversary had actually finished, or was it at the end as it was winding down? Because that was one of the...
afterwards.
That was one of the...
same name update?
Yeah. Was it
It was
afterwards?
after Trunks and Goten, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the big thing, that when the anniversary happened on JP, obviously there was this big discussion about like UI Goku got his Easy A, so which one is better, him or the LR, because you can't run them both at the same time. The physical free-to-play one got an awakening and is actually really good, but you couldn't run them all together. And so obviously for Global, we're going into it with that update going to be ready in the game. So even during the anniversary, the kind of teams that you're going to be able to put together, like we have the advantage of knowing that that's coming now. So
That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It is during the Goten and Trunks, because I remember running just a full Goten and Trunks team. That was that team is crazy, dude. Goten and Trunks just with tech Trunks, physical Trunks, and then in Goten and AGL Goten.
The Dokkan Fest Goten and Trunks, I still think they're underrated. Like, people don't understand how absolutely broken that unit is. But
yeah, they're crazy. They're crazy. Yeah, they're insane. Don't summon them.
They're crazy. 1 out of 10 banner.
Dude, mine is like hitting 5 million attack stats at 55%. Like
They hit
level
like
8 and 9.
dude, they hit 10 million at like Rainbow.
Yeah, it's insane.
crazy.
With a 100% chance to dodge active skill. They have Vegeta and Nappa's active skill, but they're actually good.
Yeah, I need to use them more often, man. I haven't used them since their celebration. Definitely a unit scary with the stones. Don't let it tempt you.
yeah, right before the anniversary, you should... I think they're probably going to do like Gail said. They're either going to do some sort of discounted rotation with maybe guaranteed featured, or maybe it will just be discounts. And then, of course, there's the potential for like Pilaf Trove ticket packs as well. So, I mean, I know if you're someone who spends on the game, then obviously I would go in for at least those. But then other than that, you want to be very careful because, yeah, the banner... As it was on JP, the banner wasn't great. They also added the Go Bros, so it was like an extra featured unit as well, which is yeah. And I'm sick. I think I've actually now, after the last time they were on a banner, I have their SSR Rainbow, so I really don't want to be summoning on banners that they're on anymore. But
there's like one viewer right now who's favorite characters are Goten and Trunks, and he's like furiously typing in the comment section.
How could you say that about my favorite?
I mean, hey, I still do think they are good. I think they're not the best unit in the game or anything, but I do think they get underrated nowadays. But I mean, I've pulled them 10 times. I don't need any more copies of them.
Hey, man, they're showing their love for you, bro.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, it's one of those things that, yeah, Goten and Trunks are super good. Like, I agree that they are a lot better than some people give them credit for, but it is the literal definition of a bait banner, because do you really want to go like a whole bunch of extra multis to try and pull a copy of them when you could then, in like a couple of weeks' time, be summoning on the do 3 multis, get 1 free, like multiple LRs, best units in the game, and Global is probably going to have the tickets as well. So it is definitely the definition of a bait banner right before the anniversary. So
I would say just do discounts. That's if they do the discounts, so they do that. That's just re-talking about Goten and Trunks. They summon on the discounts. They're good. All right. Well, with everything aside, we definitely sidetracked a bit there, but here we go. We're gonna go into the questions here. The first question comes from free-to-play Dokkan on Twitter.
That's not me.
Are you sure about that?
He says a lot of people are coming to an assumption that Videl will come before the anniversary and after Trunks and Goten, which to me does not make sense at all. Do you think there's even a slight chance it will happen? If so, how do you think Dokkan will handle the scheduling of Global?
I don't think it's coming before anniversary. I think they're doing Tapion before anniversary. So it'll be Goten Trunks leading into Tapion. And then anniversary. That's my guess.
Goten, Trunks, Tapion.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't do Tapion now, then when are they doing it after Worldwide?
Yeah.
Like,
There's no other time for Tapion.
because when did he come out? Was he after Videl?
after Videl.
Yeah, after
So
Videl.
I guess technically they could do that after. Actually, well, how much time is there after the anniversary is over and done with? We would assume that the next thing will then be Videl. Is there time for them to release
No.
Tapion before?
No,
There isn't.
because the countdown starts at the end of August and anniversary ends at the start of August, middle of August. So you get basically 2 weeks for Videl. Videl celebration is done.
They're
Countdown
gonna have
begins.
to.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to pull some shenanigans to make people summon on that right before the anniversary. Tapion.
Double rate banner on their initial release. It's the only way they're gonna push it.
Yeah, like 3 featured units or something.
Like guaranteed LR Tapion on 1 multi. Like just please use something.
Yeah, Pilaf's gonna have to come with something for people to summon on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I could
A
see
little
that
peel
being
off.
one of those banners where they do the like big legendary summon ticket where you get the like 20 unit multi with 3 SSRs and one of them is featured or whatever it is they do for those LR banners. I definitely see that for the Tapion one. But yeah, I don't think there's time. I mean, if they are, we're assuming like they've done with the previous years that they are going to be dropping Goten and Trunks before the anniversary. That comes with a bunch of stuff. Like we get the Easy A's for the general pool, Goten and Trunks. We get the Easy A's for Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I don't think there's room for them to then also fit in Videl as well, because I feel like with Videl being the lesser hype character that she is for some people, they obviously made her card really broken, so they want people to summon for her. I don't think they're going to drop like 2 bait banners back to back before the anniversary, because they know that even if they lure people in with one of them, like people aren't going to summon on both of those banners right before the anniversary.
Yeah, especially Tapion. I don't know. Tapion, like Arash said, they're gonna have to pull something.
Like
I
he's
mean-
cool. Like they seem like a fun unit, and I would like to have them. But they're definitely not a banner I would be doing loads of summons on right before the anniversary.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Tapion hit like top 16 grossing or something on JP.
You said 16?
I think Super 17 even did worse than them. Just letting you know.
No, yeah.
Oh gosh.
I mean, it's not really surprising.
Getting the
to
most
be fair.
exciting cards.
I mean,
in
at
here.
least I know in the US on the App Store, the iOS store, I think he cracked the top 20 is what we got to.
Wow. Wow. That's that's not that great. All right, well, so yeah, so we're saying Goten Trunks, possibly Tapion, and then anniversary.
Yeah, I mean, because
All
just
right.
the only reason why I think Tapion's coming is because I don't know where else they would put him. Like, they're not going to delay him until after the worldwide demo. That's like September. No way.
No, there's too little time.
All right. Well, then if we're done with that question, let's head on to the next one. This question is from Luigi Q on Twitter. He says, why does everyone praise the Super Saiyan 4s? I personally think their design is fine, but based off the dislike for caveman units, I assume there'd be more dislike for their uninteresting design.
I would agree with that. I just don't think we can expect too much out of EZA. I think if
agree.
these were units that came out as Dokkan Fest exclusives and this is what they looked like, I would be much more upset.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's kind of what everybody wants from an EZA. They just want their old unit to like start shining again and put out these cool numbers, but like they don't have anything crazy in their kit that will like make them like, oh my god, they do this. Like they just throw out big numbers. I think that's what
Yeah.
people look for in EZAs because they just want to see their old unit shine again.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the key thing. Like, it would be nice for them to have more interesting things, but like you said, the whole purpose of an EZA is to take one of those older units that you can't really run anymore, or just aren't quite up to par, and then make them super good again. And that's something that they definitely did with the Super Saiyan 4s. And I can kind of agree that, like we talked about in the previous episode when we talked about their EZA, that it was definitely nothing like quote unquote exciting about what they did with their EZA, but they just made them really, really good. And if you look at the flip side, one of the units that always stands out to me for like EZAs from recent ones is they gave that in Super Saiyan Gohan an EZA, and they gave him like a interesting sort of skew on a new mechanic, but the unit itself, even post EZA, is still not really that great. So I mean, I would rather they just do what they did with the Super Saiyan 4s than something like that, where they gave him like an interesting mechanic, but then the card is just still not that great after all is said and done. Whereas the Super Saiyan 4s, I mean, you know, the general consensus now is that you run them over Dokkan Fest LRs. So obviously their EZAs are very good.
I would say one character that EZA that is like kind of fits what he's saying, that is like interesting but also really good. AGL Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Definitely, I would say, because he's definitely really good. He's strong, and he also gives us support. But the thing is, he's kind of locked into his Realm of Gods team.
Yeah.
I would
I'm
actually
kinda
say
agree.
STR Omega as well, because what other unit like fulfills that role as well as he does?
Oh,
where he's
true, yeah.
Like the massive debuffs, like that's he's
Yeah.
kind of unique in that way. I feel like.
The only downside to him comes back to what we were saying previously about the GT bosses thing, is because that's kind
Yeah.
of his whole gimmick, where and any event where you can't lower attack, the rest of his EZA is not quite up to the level. But I mean, in events where you can, especially Super Battle Road, then yeah, he is a really
You know
good
what's
unit.
You know what kind of sucks about him now too is that I feel like if he got his EZA right now, instead of buffing full power, he'd buff GT bosses.
I was
and it
actually
would-
just about to say that. I was just about to say that. I was like, dude, if GT Bosses was out when he was EZAing, he would be supporting GT Bosses all the way.
Yeah.
Which really does suck that he is supporting full power now, because like nobody in the category is on there other than like the Omegas. So
Yeah.
that really does suck now that that support is kind of rendered useless on GT Bosses. All right, well, let's get on to the next question. This comes from Gucci Rares?
Gutierrez.
Gutierrez
There you
on the
go.
Discord. This question is for everyone. How long does it take you each to fully grind one unit to full level 10 links? Let's just start out from up and to the bottom to the list here. I'll start off.
No, I will start. I'll start.
oh,
I'll
you'll go.
start.
Go ahead.
When did the mechanic come out again?
Like October.
November, October, yeah, something like that.
So the difference from then and now, because I still haven't done one.
Well, damn.
I'll also start. I'm also gonna say from then to like 2 days ago, because how I farm units, I don't go for the full level 10, because if it's not on like a link where it's like big bad bosses, I think it's dumb to just go full level 10, where it's like 0.5% attack and defense. To me, it's like more efficient to just go for all the like units and get like 8 9s, and then we'll get 10s if I'm trying to get like higher up. Usually I try to, for like, let's say in physical cell, when I was farming them up, my mindset was, I get big bad bosses level 10, I'm out. Like, I'm switching them out. So like they have like 10s and 9s. That's how I farm units. Just recently, I was just doing a Dokkan event with my LR SDR Broly. He had one missing link. It was Berserk. So it's like, why do I even bother, right? And so it got to level 10. And I was like, all right, well, this is actually my first level 10 unit.
Yeah, for me, I think, funnily enough, the first team I did it was, I think it was when ESBR was approaching. When did we get ESBR on global? December. The first set, December, right? December, January.
No, that was the last 10 category stages.
Yeah, yeah. I mean the type ESBR. I don't remember when we got that.
I think it was before then.
Was it before then? I feel it was right. It was a month, at least a month after the link level update, because once the link level update came, and then we obviously knew JP had obviously the type ESBRs and stuff like that. I may or may not have worked on my super int team, which it's not your conventional super int team, because I took a Dragon Ball Seekers version, which had like the April Fool's Bulma, Giru, Goku Jr., stuff like that. And that was pretty much my first link level team. So I'd say probably it took me like a month and a half for that team. Since then, I think the team cell was one which I finished off same amount of time. So I'd say a month, because I don't like dedicate myself to 23-8 all the time. I just take that team. If I have nothing to do, then I put them in 23-8, use my boost for the day, use my stamina bar, leave it there. Or I just do some random event with that specific team instead and get link levels that way.
Yeah, that's fair.
For me, it just depends on how motivated I am to link level. Like, I could finish a unit in 4 days. Like, I'm basically done with Super 17. But there's other times where it's like, I'll take like 2 months to finish a unit because I'm just not motivated to link level.
Yeah, that
So
I
it just
think goes
depends.
into account
Yeah.
for like everyone.
Yeah, RNG definitely plays a massive factor, because there are certain days where especially if I'm working like a night shift, I will pretty much grind like 23-8 non-stop. Because it's interesting, we've not really discussed it in a huge amount before, at least in this venue, but Diddy does raise a very good point that there are certain links that you really don't need them to be higher than like even 7 or 8. But I'm one of those people, I'm a bit of a completionist. I have to get them all to level 10, then I can add them into my full level 10 links tag. But the RNG definitely plays a huge role, because there was, I think, which was the one unit that stands out in particular for me was when all the hero stuff dropped, the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, because I wanted to do level 10 links showcases for all of them, and most of them finished quite quickly. But even though during the space of that time, there was a set of 4 night shifts in a row where I was grinding pretty much non-stop, it took me almost a full 2 weeks to get the last link for Vegito to go up to level 10. So it is very much RNG. Like, I actually saw somebody, I think was it yesterday? So he'd only been out for like 1 full day and a bit, but I already saw like a Super 17 friend that had mostly 8s and 9s, whereas mine at the moment, even as of right now, is mostly 6s and 7s. So it's a lot of RNG, but I mean, if you can get lucky with new releases when they drop, I want to try and get them maxed out as quickly as possible. If you're lucky, it can be within a week. But I mean, even now, I've got both the GT Super Saiyans on my current link level team, and they both have, I think, 1 or 2 links that still need to go to 10, and all the rest are at 9. But since a couple of people mentioned theirs, I shout out to my first team that I ever full link leveled. I don't know if anyone can remember what it was, but it was the good old Ginyu Force.
Oh my god.
You full level 10 link the entire Ginyu Force?
Well, I say full link level 10, so kind of like you said, obviously, so I link leveled them so I could be the first person to know items that stage.
Okay.
Each of them have a link that nobody else on the team has. So I didn't bother if that was the last one that hadn't got to 10, I didn't bother with that. But the 2 LRs are full 10s. And I didn't level Berta because I didn't use him, but yeah, that was my first team, while everybody else was out here posting their screenshots of like Easy A Physical Vegito Blue as their first link level 10 unit. I was out here grinding out the Ginyu Force.
Gotta stay different. All right, well, here we go. On to our last question here for the podcast. This is by Gig on Twitter. In the past, they've added units into categories they weren't on before. Do you think they will realize their mistakes and add 17 GT and Hellfighter 17 into GT bosses, since they desperately need those 2 units?
It's not impossible.
Yeah, it's not impossible, but I don't know. I feel like they saw them, like they had to have gone through like the GT link and just look at all the extreme units and just picked out 7. No, dude, who are those people? Like, no, don't get them in there. Like they must have just like handpicked the units and just said like, no, these guys aren't on it.
I think it's that typical thing that always comes up with categories where it's hard to explain why Dokkan has picked certain units to be on it and not other units, because whilst with those two, you could obviously argue that 17 and Hellfighter 17 are not the bosses of that arc, even though I think it was Truth described it as like Hellfighter 17 is obviously being the evil one, is kind of the one that's more in control of the final like fused Super 17. But then at the same time, all of the Shadow Dragons are on it, including the ones like all the minor ones that only get one episode and don't really do anything.
I'm looking at the category right now, and I'm pretty like I just ran through this scenario in my head. I'm pretty sure the way that they did this was every single unit on this category fought Goku in Dragon Ball GT.
Okay.
That might be what the requirement is to be in here.
Interesting. But yeah, I mean, it comes back to kind of what we were saying in the discussion earlier about Super 17. I definitely think that they should have done that, because whilst you can run them under his like Android sub-lead, it means in the future if they ever bring out like a GT Bosses Super Battle Road stage, or they add it as a mission for one of the other events, you obviously can't bring those units under his leader skill. So I feel like they should be on there, if nothing else, just to pad out the category a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it would help Super 17 a lot. They kind of easy A, and then they're on there. But
I mean,
technically with Super 17, he could just be on the team anyways.
Yeah,
with androids.
exactly. I mean, this is the thing we were saying just now about how they've definitely changed the way they're designing units, and maybe it is because of the same name update. Obviously, like Goresh was saying, we're now seeing less transformation units. I genuinely assumed that whenever we were finally going to get a new 17, Super 17, sorry, that it was going to be 17 and Hellfighter 17 who then fuse into Super 17, which obviously in this instance for the new LR would have been great, because then even on global you can then run the AGL one, and even once they transform they would link together really well. So I'm kind of surprised that they didn't do that.
They definitely could have worked Super 17 better, but we did discuss that earlier, where Super 17's not the greatest, but he's good. You know, he's, like you said, Ning, I think earlier you said he could be good, he could be really good, but he's not great, which is a shame. He should have definitely been one of the best LRs. But yeah, I mean, do you guys have anything else to add to this?
Not really.
Sounds like a group majority says no. Okay. Well, with that comes to an end of episode 35 of the Dokkan podcast with Super Duper 17 and all the other things we talked about. I'm glad everybody was here. Big shout out to everyone that was on the show today. Gail, Goresh, Stefana, Ningen, and everybody watching. Thank you for watching. And yeah, you can watch all of our stuff on the YouTube, the Twitch, Twitter. Make sure to just go follow there and go on join the public Discord. Also, we got a Reddit. Go on there too. But yeah, with that comes to an end of episode 35 of the Dokkan podcast, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
So long.
Peace out.